Hello everyone, in this video I will show you our new product. You can see this is A2v3. It's the new version of A2 old board. So this time we have designed the new hardware structure and add some new functions and hardware resources so that will let this smart board more powerful. And this board also supported by Home Assistant using ESP Home. We have supplied the YAML file you can directly to use, and also support KC868-A2v3 firmware you can download from our phone so that you can integrate to Home Assistant by MQTT Auto Discovery without any config, just a zero config code. And also you can support write your Arduino source code because every hardware resource we have write the source code for the demo, every hardware demo functions in our phone. And also you can write the code by MicroPython or by ESP32-S3 development tool. So in this video, I will show you the hardware design details and how it works with the KCS firmware and how it works in different software solution. Okay, let's look at the hardware design details firstly. Okay, let's look at this is A2v3 board, and you can see this is in front of the PCB board, and this is the back. So this time you can see we have let the components in two different sides of PCB, so that let the size not change it. So you can see the CPU. We have updated the CPU used by the ESP32-S3 and 16R8. So that is have a big PS RAM and memory size, just enough for every project, I think. So this is mainly changed by the ESP32-S3. And this board you can see also have some different as the older version, and this is NTC protect circuit. So if you power exchange, will not burn this board. So this time we have designed it. And the socket also is removable, but we can let the wire go through by these directions, not at the top. So you can see the line just connect with these directions. And you can see this have some different interface. This interface as seen as before. So just the power support 12 volt or 24 volt with this board, and two one-wire interface for DS18B20 or other temperature sensor one-wire device, and for this RS485 A and B, and for digital input, two-channel digital input in 1 and in 2. So this can max support 300 meter long distance cable. And this also have a socket, this for 4G and this for 2G module. So you can see if you want use this 2G module, because in China the 2G is stop use. So if you want use the 2G module, you can write the code by yourself. In KCS firmware that not support 2G module, we can't test in China. So this you can see that is SIM 800L. This is 2G module. So plug it here, insert SIM card at here, and also you can insert 4G module. So you can see I have a board at here. This have installed the 4G module, SIM7600, and this you can see that have installed LCD, so that you can show the IP address of Wi-Fi and Ethernet and the clock. And also the TUYA, whether it's online or offline, this also support TUYA. Just you need to use the TUYA license. And the temperature sensor is showed in display. This time I have connected with one DS18B20 temperature sensor. So this sensor you can enable it in KCS3 firmware, so that can display it here. You can see 22 centigrade. Okay. So this have a different 4G module, and also you can see this time you can see we have used the Ethernet chip with the W5500. So this chip is better than old version. Sometimes the older chip that will disconnect with the Ethernet. So this chip is very stable, and for the Ethernet connection, so this use this high quality and the cost is high for this Ethernet chip. And this one you can see that is a battery. So this battery installed for the RTC. Because we have used this RTC DS32-31 high quality RTC chip, so that will have an internal clock, and this will be save the clock after power off. So this can insert the battery at here. And this is I2C extender. So if you want connect the I2C temperature and humidity sensor, you can extend the connect at here, and some other I2C device you can connect at here. So no problem, that can extend your device. You can see battery is CR1220 3V. So you can install this battery at this socket. Just insert by this way, to save the RTC clock. Okay, this is battery. But this battery will not send include this board because the battery can't send by AirPlay. And you can see this have a SD card. So you can insert the SD card at here, because in KCS firmware that can save the logo. When the relay is on and when the relay is off, will save the TXT file to the SD card. So that you use by save the logo file by SD card at here. And this is 2-channel relay, and every channel of relay max 10 ampere, and with the COM, normal open and normal close. COM, normal open and normal close. So this is relay, and this LCD display at here. And this board you can also install in a plastic shoe. You can see this plastic shoe is part installed on the DIN rail. So you can see if you want install the board at a plastic shoe, just this way, and we can close it. So you can see just as this way, and this terminal just insert on this way. Okay, and so that will be easy to install on the DIN rail. You can see just by this way install on the DIN rail. Okay, so this is the plastic shoe. Okay, now I will show you how it works with the KCS V3 firmware and used by this board. I have connected the 12 volt, and also you can connect with the 24 volt for this board. And we can put it here. Okay, let's back to my computer, and now I will show you how it works in KCS firmware and in Home Assistant. Okay, first let's look at the web page. I will show you some information or document you can find from this web page. And you can see at here that showed the every interface, what pin defined at here by this diagram, and some different improvement for this based on this old A2 board showed at here, some details, and the different ESP32 I/O pin defined at here. And the KCS V3 firmware download at here, ESP home YAML file download at here, and Arduino source code at here, and the KCS V3 online guide at here. So you can just find this date from our Kinkoni form A2v3, and you will see that all have showed at here. So you can easy to program by yourself or configure by ESP home. And you can see I can download the KCS V3 firmware to this A2v3 board. So after download, we can log in by this IP address. The IP address showed in LCD display. And you can see it here. That showed 3.125. Okay, you can see this A2 board. We can log in by admin, and you will see this KCS V3 firmware. This version is 3.9.1. We will always update and continuous for improvement the KCS V3. And this is input for different input setting, reverse the level or not reverse. And the output, you can set the output mode, hold on or delay, if you set the delay, so that will auto off every time when the relay is on. And this is also set by the interlock mode. So only 2-channel relay, you can set the one group of interlock group. And you can see the sensor that can support max 32 sensor connect with the A2v3 board. So this time you can see I have set the DS18B20 temperature sensor. The GPIO number is 18. Where to find the GPIO number? You can see in our 4, this is IO pin define, and you will see the TMP1 that I have connected the GPIO 18. What's TMP1 means? You can see this is TMP1 and this is TMP2. So this have 2 one-wire device you can connect it. This have 2. But if you want add many sensors, you can see this have a free GPIO you can use by this PCB directly. This terminal that have pull-up resistant, and this is connected with ESP32 pins directly without any pull-up resistant. So that means this is different whether have a resistant or without a resistant. Just this, you can see IO4, IO5, IO6, IO38. This can use for many different devices, such as weekend access control panel. Also, you can connect with this this part. Okay, so this is the sensor. So you can see you can select many different GPIO for sensor. So actually, you can connect with many different one-wire sensor. But if you want to connect with many different IS485 sensor, you can see I can also choose the Kinkone TS IS485 temperature and humidity sensor, so that you can connect many sensors together by one IS485 bus. And also you can see I can install this SHT30 I2C interface sensor, because you can see we have a I2C externed at here, SDA, SCL, power and ground. So this can connect sensor also. So this time you can connect with a different sensor type with the A2v3 board and shoot in this monitor web page. Because now I have connected only one DS18B20 temperature sensor, so that showed the one channel temperature value. But you can set many different sensors, and whether it should in display LCD, you just click, that will show in display. If you unclick, that will be removed from the display. Okay, let's look at the monitor. The monitor, you will see this have a different protocol support, is enable or disable shown at this web page. And this is sensor. If you have added 32 sensors, so the 32 sensor data will show at this web page. And this is digital input and this digital output. You can see I can turn on, relay 1, relay 2, turn off, and turn all on and off. And this is digital input. Also, you can trigger. For example, I can trigger the digital input, and this will be turn green. And you can see this is digital input 1, and this is the ground. So you can see if I shut for this 2 points, this have turn green, input 1. If I shut the input 2 with this ground, and you can see this channel 2 is turn green. So this is binary sensor that can use in Home Assistant or used by the local IFTDD command. And next we'll look at the IFTDD command. So you can create many different automation locally without Home Assistant, without ESP Home, without any software. So just you can create if DI or if temperature. If DI is what actions that will DO, that means relay output on, off, or toggling, so it can set by yourself. Or you can add this delay time and add this customer protocol send out. And this also you can set the different condition. You can see the temperature, if the temperature or humidity is greater than or smaller than a value, so that can do this then actions. And this also can set the timer, and this also can set the customer side protocol have received, and then you can send or do some command out for this then command. And this is powerful FTD functions. And the network you can see also support the Wi-Fi and support the Ethernet. And the protocol you can see that generally that have support Kingcone Cloud, so that you can use a web page to monitor or to control this A2v3 board. And this is powerful for Home Assistant, that MQTT Auto Discover. Later I will show you how it works. And this is MQTT that can connect with your own cloud server, such as Amazon AWS cloud server. So you can just enable it and fill your own cloud server on internet, the IP address and the port and the broker username and the password. That will show the topic and the static topic and the command topic. And also you can support HTTP server, TCP server or TCP client, UDP server, UDP client, IS45 for Modbus or Kingcone HA board, the HA protocol. So this have multi protocol support by this A2v3 board. And also you can see if I enable this one for Home Assistant, you can see this is my Home Assistant dashboard. We can click setting and click device, and click device. You will see A16, A32, A6, A8. There is no A2v3 board, no A2. So I will show you how it works with Home Assistant very easily. So you can see, you just enable this auto discovery and enable this MQTT and fill your broke IP address that I have installed the Mosquito on Home Assistant in Raspberry Pi just with the Kingcone server. So you can see this is my Home Assistant IP address, just this one, 3.107. Just this one, and this is my default MQTT port, MQTT username, and MQTT password. This just set by yourself in your Mosquito setting. And the device name you can set by yourself. If you create A2v3, you can import, or you can rename anything by yourself. So you just click save, and the board will be reboot. And then you will find the Home Assistant device will auto discover the A2v3. So after it reboot, you can see I can refresh. And let's look at. You can see that have showed A2v3 have auto discovered. I click and you will see this is relay on and off. And also you can see that have a temperature. The temperature 22, you can see in KCS 22. So this have auto update the resource to Home Assistant. Sorry for my config, I will update it. Actually that have a 2-channel relay output and 2-channel data input and 1-channel sensor. Later I will update this. That means that will update the KCS hardware resource to Home Assistant without any config. So this is very flexible and very easy to use Home Assistant. Okay, so this is the KCS. You can see this time MQTT actually is connected. That is turned green, so the state is changed. And let's look at the next, the customer side protocol. You can see you can set whether is if or then you can define different customer protocol by TCP, by UDP, by S45, by HTTP. So what is received then will as a trigger, and what is action command by this customer side protocol to send out TX. TX means send out. Okay, this is defined for FTD command. And this Apple HomeKit, you can see you can also enable this Apple HomeKit and define the import. You just enable and rename it here what is shared in Apple HomeKit application. The import name, just the binary sensor name, and the output just the switch name and how many channel switch enabled. Just click if you want to enable. So without any code. And this is DAC and ADC and the sensor. So you can also enable which sensor you want should in Apple HomeKit. And this also can support integrate to Luxon system mini server. So that by UDP command, this is UDP client or UDP server, and set for Luxon system. That is the UDP protocol for the Luxon mini server at here. And this is Tuya. If you want remote control by internet, used by Tuya mobile phone application, so you just need to buy Tuya license from Kinkone and fill your Tuya license and enable it. You can just set your Tuya license information at here and press save. Then you can use your Tuya mobile phone, scan the QR code to remote control by internet. And also you can let this A2v3 board and trigger and make automation in Tuya application. So that will automation work with any Tuya product. Okay, the next is system. The system you can see, you can set the RTC clock. You can set the clock and choose a different time zone. And this you can set the digital input for double click or for hold on the default time. So you can change it just according by yourself. And the username and the password default login this web page. And this is restore factory at here. Sometimes you want to reset your board, so you just click this red button to restore factory settings at here. So sometimes many problem or issue will solved by this restore settings. Okay, so this is the KC868-A2v3 firmware, and also you can see in our phone. If you want, don't use KCS, you can use Home Assistant by ESP Home YAML file. So you can see, if you have used this YAML file, the code we have supplied at here, you can download and directly to use. So you will use in Home Assistant the relay and the digital input and the free GPIO, and also you can use the 4G module. We have made some Home Assistant video talk about the 4G module, so you can use it. So this have enabled the web service. Also you can see you can visit the IP address in your web browser by PC or by mobile phone, so that you can without any software, without any application, you can use your board. Okay, so this is the A2v3 board. If you have any questions, you can leave a message to us. Thanks for watching.